Hello, everyone. Mercy Rodriguez here, mpa590, week 3. This week, we will be talking about two key concepts in public administration. And my two themes is efficiency and democratic values. I will get both of these classical theorists and modern scholarship and guide the work of our proposed task force. I will highlight sources from Shafreeze, Tompkins, and other peer-reviewed journals and show how these ideas connect directly to practice. So excuse me in my voice. I've been very sick over the last week. So overview. Um, I will cover two central concepts. First, the classical and modern views of efficiency, and second, the equally important role of democratic values. I will draw on theorists like Gulick, Simon, and Waldo, as well as Tompkins' text, specifically chapters 6 through 8, and I'll also introduce insight from Christopher Hood's 1991 article and Jorgensen and Bozeman's 2007 article on public values. Finally, I'll explain how each of these concepts, efficiency and democratic values, would shape decision making and operations within my new task force. So, efficiency. Luther Gulick, in his 1937 essay included in the Shafrit's text, gave us the concept of the POSD CORB, which highlights planning, organizing, and coordinating as the foundation of administrative efficiency. Even though this idea was challenged by Herbert Simon in his 1946 article, Simon argued that these so-called principles were more like proverbs and instead proposed that efficiency should be grounded in decision making and what he called bounded rationality. But in Tompkins' text, he expands on this decision by bringing in motivation theories like Maslow and Herzberg, showing that efficiency isn't just about structure, it's also about how people are motivated to perform. And finally, in Christopher Hood's 91 article, he pushes efficiency into the modern era with the rise of the new public management, reframing efficiency in terms of measurable outcomes, competition, and performance target. So to connect that with my new task force, efficiency would mean just ensuring clear coordination across the multiple agencies during any type of crisis. So, without an efficient structure, communication would break down and response times would suffer. So, this is why this is very important. With democratic values, my second theme, even though efficiency is critical, public administration can't be understood only through that lens. So Dwight Waldo emphasized that administration is never neutral, it's evaluated and inherently political. Efficiency, he argued, must be balanced with equity, accountability, and democratic responsiveness. So even Simon recognized this in his 1946 essay, noting that decisions are not purely factual, they are influenced by underlying values. Tompkins in chapter 8 showed how systems theory and contingency theory reinforcing this, arguing that organizations must balance multiple goals, not just efficiency. And then building on Waldo's insights, Jorgensen and Bozeman's 2007 article developed an inventory of public values, such as the rule of law, transparency, and citizen participation that administrators must weigh alongside their efficiency. So for my task force, this would mean that when resources are allocated, whether personnel, equipment, or funding, we must consider not just the cost effectiveness, but also the fairness, the transparency, and the trust of the communities that we serve. So that's how I will tie that in. So, in closing, to wrap it up, efficiency and democratic values are not competing ideals, but they're actually complementary ones. So, efficiency would ensure coordination and quick response, while democratic values safeguard legitimacy and equity. So, an effective task force must balance the structures for efficiency with the values that sustain public trust and accountability. And my proposed task force would do that. So, by weaving together insights from Gulick, Simon, Waldo, Tompkins, and other modern scholars like Hood, Jorgensen, and Bozeman, we can design a task force that responds effectively in crisis while remaining accountable to the communities that it serves. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.